Hi, you guys. Welcome to More Life, Natural Health and Wellness. I'm your girl, Kendra Moore, and I have a very special guest with me today, Miss Tanisha. She calls herself Miss Wellness, and I'm super excited to talk to her. I apologize for my voice. It is going through a situation, but I did make some lemon, ginger, honey tea this morning, and I will be probably eating honey by the spoonfuls today. So kind of heal this throat. But Tanisha, thank you so much for coming on with
Yeah.
me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of you may recall that we had Tanisha on before on Let's Talk About It, where I host that show with Izzy Meditates. And in there, she told us about her story, which I'm going to ask her to repeat again. But tell us about yourself first, where you live, and what it is that you do.
Sure. So, Tanisha Naughton, I am from New York, but currently in Georgia. Everything wellness, I love being active. So, hiking, working out, like those are my things. Sports, love them. But in terms of what I do, I'm a women's wellness empowerment coach. I'm working with women of color entrepreneurs, helping them reclaim their health, fall back in love with themselves through a plant-based transition and through a lot of mindfulness techniques.
Awesome. And why was that something that was important for you to dive into?
Yeah, because of my mom. So for those that don't know, my mom was diagnosed a couple years back with having diabetes and was taking a lot of medications, and they weren't doing anything for her, to be honest. And myself, I was about 30 pounds heavier too, and I was going through a transition of from eating terrible to trying eating cleaner. So I decided for us both to try the vegan lifestyle. And about a year or so later, after taking herbs and making a lot of more vegan food, my mom became pre-diabetic. She didn't have to worry about having any medications anymore. So that's why, like, I love, my story because me and my mom went through this together. We're both Black women. So, it's near and dear to my heart. Like, I want to help more women of color, show them that they can take back their power, take back their control. You don't have to be paying for all these different medications and thinking that that's your life. Like, there's another way.
You have siblings, but you might be your mom's favorite child, helping her go through that. That's super sweet. And the fact that you guys did it together, which I'm sure individually. Can you talk a little bit about? And you guys, we're going to actually get into Tanisha's new offering that she has, and I'm super excited for her to talk about. But before we get there, can you talk about a little bit some of the challenges that you see African American women or women of color face when it comes to their health and wellness?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is not putting themselves first. When women are the head of the household, everybody else comes first, the kids, the spouse, and your self-care gets last. Unfortunately, I think that's definitely been passed down where, you just have to take care of the household. But also just constantly being stressed, not eating right or not eating at all because you're running around. I've had those days where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, did I eat today? Did I even have a snack? Did I drink enough water?" And all those things are what's depleting our health. So now when you go to the doctor, or you're eating poorly too, I should say that because you're just grabbing something really quickly. So now you're going to the doctor, you're getting your blood work, and your cholesterol's up. Your blood pressure's up. Maybe you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic, and now you have to be put on these medications. And it's like, well, it didn't just happen all of a sudden.
Right.
These things happen over time based off our eating habits, based off our environment, because I really believe in mind, body, and soul. Like, it's everything that encompasses what optimal health looks like for a person. So with women of color, we have a lot that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, but it's about learning techniques to control that and just eating cleaner as well. But it's having someone teach you how to eat cleaner because not everybody's taught that either. So we can't take that for granted.
Yeah, I can definitely relate with the not eating when you're busy. And then, then if you're not prepared with something, then, I'm like, I think I posted online, I got like 4 boxes of Girl Scout cookies because they were doing a special. So I was supporting the Girl Scouts. But
Yeah.
it's funny, but when you have, stuff like that and you get super busy and then you don't have anything else prepared, then I find myself like, oh, let me just grab a couple of cookies. And then two
Right.
minutes before, and then next minute's like a whole sleeve, right? That's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
mean, preparation is key. Just today, I was doing my smoothie prep. I had posted that on my social media. Like you have to take the time. I know people be like, "Well, I don't have time." Like we have 24 hours in a day. You got to find some time to put you first, and that's really my biggest thing. That's why I say reclaiming your health because when the woman takes care of herself, everybody in that household is going to be taken care of because she's
Right.
cooking the food. She usually
Yeah.
the women is cooking the food and making the drinks. So if you already did your smoothie prep, if you already made your meals, then you won't have to worry about just, going for the cookies. Nothing wrong with having a snack, but that should not be your primary meal.
Right. Yes. So, on that vein, because I think we talked about this before with me in particular, I struggle with the meal prep. Can you give our audience one tip to help with going into your week and setting yourself up?
Yeah. So normally I'll talk about like something quick to make, but I'm gonna do what I posted today, which was make it fun. Don't make it a chore. So, what do I mean by that? Whatever your hobby is, whatever you enjoy, when you're prepping, when you're cooking, when you're making juice, do that. So for me, it's music. I'm putting on Sundays for whatever reason, I love popping on an 80s playlist. That's just my thing. And it helps get me in the mood. It doesn't make me think like, oh man, I'm about to be in this kitchen for the next hour or however long, depending on what I'm doing. And it's about getting your mind in the mood for these things. So I would say that that is the biggest tip. Make it enjoyable, make it fun, and dance, laugh, sing, whatever you want to do. But I think that that's the best way for any type of wellness practice is
Yeah.
doing something that you enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tanisha, let's get into why you are in on today. You have a brand new offering that I think is just so unique. Can you tell us about the name first? So, if I
Hmm.
recall, it's Neosoul Chakra
Hmm.
Activation Guide.
Yep.
And
Yep.
is that right? And
Yeah.
that alone is like it's got so much depth in the name alone that it's just I think it's so cool. So tell us about what the guide is, and I know it's multiple things, so let's
Right.
describe it first, and then we can break each
Yeah.
piece down.
Yeah, so with the name, sometimes I go back and forth between guide and drinks just so people can,
Uh,
know what they're going for, but guide is really the best way. So, yeah, the Neo Soul Chakra Activation Guide, it is really an experience of a woman of color coming back to herself. And what do I mean by that? So, I'm giving smoothies and herbal teas that are based off of your chakras. And for those that know, we have seven chakras. And so, truly and personally, this is based off of my experience in the past like couple months because I was going through some incredible pain in my own body and I eat pretty clean, but it was a mixture between emotions and just not eating right for my body. So, and what I mean by that is eating certain fruits that are aligned with my heart, or it could be my crown chakra. It depends, but being more intentional is why I created this. So there's also, I just mentioned music, and I said that for a reason because in this guide, there's also a music playlist based off of neo soul, one of my favorite genres. And then lastly, there are self discovery prompts because, again, mind, body, and soul. So you have to be self aware on why are you taking your wellness journey? Why are you trying to eat healthier? What's the reason? And so there's some different prompts that will guide you on this journey as well. And then the last part of it is that you get a coaching call with me, which is what makes it really different from anything that's out there. It's not a full guide. Like afterwards, you get supported by me too.
Wow, that is awesome. So let's start with the chakras. For those who are not aware, what are chakras? And I think you mentioned seven of them. So I don't know if you can describe all seven, but if you can just give us a gist.
Yeah, so they're your energy centers. They are your biggest. I mean, they're obviously the most important. So, like I said, there are seven, and we could start at the bottom, which would be by your lower back. So that is your root chakra. And then from there, if we're going up, you then have your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, and then your crown. And there are plenty other chakras, but most people just start with the seven basic. and then move from there. So that's what I did my guide based off of, were those. And then each chakra has a different color. So your smoothies, when you get the guide, you'll see that, well, the root chakra, we're talking about apples or cherries, that's associated with red, or then we'll take it from there, talk about the sacral, and we'll go with the orange fruits. And then solar plexus is yellow, the heart is green, throat is blue. It honestly keeps going. But
Right.
and then third eye, we can go with indigo, and then the crown is white as well. So yeah, white and violet. So yeah, everything was done intentionally. Like I wanted you to, when you're looking at yourself and you're making, let's say, a green smoothie, like this is to activate my heart. Like maybe I've been feeling sad. Maybe there's some things that are repressed, and I'm going to intentionally make this smoothie with kiwi, kale, and some other things that I have in there, and feel that I'm nourishing myself. One, two, I'm loving on myself. And then three, I'm also reclaiming my health. And what's nice about this is that for the person who's like, I don't have time to make a full meal, well, you can get your nutrients still with a quick smoothie that's only going to take you 5 to 10 minutes. Everybody has that. And that's why I made this guide for the people who aren't ready yet to move into cooking all of their food.
Right, right. So for the guide, so you're creating the smoothies you've created, and
Mhm.
then they're to target the different chakras to help, I guess, like you said, like to activate, which is in the name, activate that specific chakra.
Yeah.
So is the chakra something that's more emotional? Is it physical? Is it like, I'm wondering, how do people know that, oh,
Mhm.
I need to activate my solar plexus chakra or my throat chakra? How do
Yeah.
people know
So it's both. So
that?
for me, how I knew about my root chakra was what was really hurting me, and my solar plexus. And it's actually a twofold. So my lower back was killing me. I was in
Okay.
intense pain, and I didn't do anything such as working out. I didn't do anything out of the normal. So it caused me to question myself. And that's what's good when you are eating clean, like you're able to be more in tune with your body. So I said, well, there's nothing that I'm doing out of the normal. So what's going on with me? And then I was like, oh, I didn't even think about my chakras, because chakras are emotional and physical. And I would stretch. I started going to a chiropractor. I did all the things, and it still was killing me. But it was from emotional pain. It was from, at that time, a lack of security, some fear, fear in my own life that I was dealing with. But it came through in physical pain for me. For my
Right,
solar plexus, I wasn't being creative in my business, and the solar plexus is tied to your creativity and your money. So I was like, oh man, like I just feel blocked. Like I don't really want to do many things in my business. I was unmotivated, and that wasn't normal for me. So that was a little bit of a difference, where it wasn't physical, but I just knew that I didn't feel like myself.
right,
And when you said that word activate, what this guide is activating is the confidence, is the self-awareness, and what I call the wellness spiritual baddie, where she knows her ins and her outs about herself, and she is sexy. She moves through life with like no holds bar. She is
right.
just understanding that she is a goddess, and this body is a temple, and she needs to know what's going on within her. So that's what helped elevate me. Was I started, okay, well, all right, today I'm gonna have some more, whether it be a lemon for my solar plexus, or yeah, I'm gonna have more apples intentionally before I even started making the smoothie. And I was like, you know what, this I started talking, I was talking to the fruits. I'm like, this is to help me with my vitality and get rid of this pain, because it was terrible. It
Right.
really was. Like it went on for a couple of weeks or more, and I couldn't shake it. No matter all the healthy natural stuff I was doing, but it was internal. And on
Wow.
top of that, I did some chakra meditations as well, some binaural beats, just to add into it, because I'm a big believer in sound and how the body heals with frequencies, and that's why there's a playlist, because music is also healing.
Wow. That is so powerful. I want to get to comments, and then I do want to go to the music. Um, and like you were talking about the sound healing. But we have some comments. We have Charles Brakely says, "Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chuck. Thank you
Uh,
for tuning in." He also says, "Like, love, share, and follow Feel Good Talk." And you guys know we're also on YouTube Live, and we're on Facebook Live, and you can catch that at youtube.com/@feelgoodtalk. We have our girl Izzy Meditates in the house. She says, "So good to see you, Tanisha." And we also have Izzy saying, "When I meditate, chakra colors will present themselves to me
Mhm.
as a sign." We have Tyrone Ricks in the house. What's up, Ty? Thank you for tuning in. Wowzer is right. And we have Izzy also says, yes, our bodies are temple spiritually and physically. Tyrone also says he's tuned in, 10 of life. Tune in with more life, the one and only Kendra Moore. Thank you for the love, Ty. Always appreciate it. And then we also have Izzy saying music is definitely a healer. Sound healing is everything. The entire time my daughter's been ill, I've been playing
Mhm.
healing sounds. And Izzy, I've been thinking about you and Cass, so I pray she is feeling better. So that's the comment. So let's get into, and then we have people shouting each other out online. We're a family, so that's what we
Yeah.
do. um,
Yeah.
so let's get into the sound piece of it. So
Yeah.
for
So
sound, yeah, tell us a little bit how that works.
yeah. So actually I would love to touch on one of the comments real quickly if that's
Yes,
cool.
please.
Okay, so yeah, when Izzy said meditating and seeing the colors, I'm glad she said that because that actually happened with me as well. When I would meditate, I would see certain colors and I saw red a lot. And that was another indicator for me. So I was like, okay, why am I just constantly seeing this color? It's not like I was sitting out in the sun and the glare when you close your eyes. Like,
Right.
no, it was bright red in front of my face. And I had to really be in tune with myself to say, like, that's a sign. Everything is a sign. Like, there's no coincidences. So that was another thing for me. And then I started getting like a red candle and doing a lot more intentional, having a crystal with me, carnelian or whatever I chose at that time, to activate my root chakra. So I'm glad that you brought that up because that is so true. I do the same.
Awesome. And I love going back almost in that same vein. It's like you're paying attention to, and
Hmm.
like you said, we have to pay attention to our bodies, people, our state. But I think in order to do that, like you said, you got to be in tune with your body. And in order to be in tune, you have to cut out a lot of junk, like food and stuff that you're consuming, right? So you understand you're always in a sluggish state, a tired state, worn out state. That's just normal to you, right? But you don't know that you could do better. So when you clean up those eating habits, when you clean up your spiritual habits, your prayer habits, your meditation habits, for me, you guys know, more like natural health and wellness, when you get rid of the toxins and stuff out of your home, right? And all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're operating at a higher level, and then when stuff comes into your environment that isn't right, like and that even goes for people, getting rid of
Hmm.
those toxic people around you,
Oh yeah.
and in order to kind of live at a more optimal level. So let's get back to the music real quick. So, oh, we don't have to be quick. I said real quick. We don't have to be quick. But getting back to the music. So tell us about why it was important for you to incorporate music as part of this.
Yeah. So one, like I said, music is healing. There are different frequencies that help us heal our bodies, the binaural beats. But really and truly, why I did it is because music is healing and it's so much fun for me. And I really wanted to show people a part of my personality in this offer. So literally, like from the time I wake up, from the time I go to bed, I have a playlist on, and the neo soul, it's nice because it's soothing, but there are some upbeat songs as well, if anyone's familiar with the genre. So I love it. It just puts me in like a really good mood. Like I can never be in a bad mood around neo soul. And I wanted people to like envision themselves in this offer. Like that's me. Like Tanisha's just down to earth and I feel her vibe. And music is my form of love language too for people. Like if I'm making a playlist for you, I love you a lot.
Right.
And this was my way of just saying like this is an easy way to start tapping into that wellness spiritual baddie. Like, listen to these words, listen to the affirmations, because I left that part out. There are affirmations as well in this offer, but there's affirmations in the music that I chose specifically. Like, you have 2 hours roughly of music that is going to uplift your spirit. So if
Wow.
you are having a bad day and maybe you didn't eat so well, but you're hearing like, love on yourself, like, you're amazing, sis, you got it. It just puts you in a different mood. And that's what I'm just looking to do, is just shift your frequency, shift your vibration, and get you into a more positive state. So now you can get those divine downloads for your business and for your life, to figure out why you're stuck or why you're not motivated. Through music, things come through as well. So yeah, that was the biggest thing for me. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be special. And I was so glad that I did it. It was a lot of fun making this offer.
Wow. I love yeah, music. I'm like you. It's rare that the TV is on during the day. Usually when I start to settle down around 9, I'm like,
Mhm.
I'll put on Netflix. The one thing, if you guys don't believe that music has an impact on your emotional state, then what I would challenge you to do is start your day off with music. Start your day off with music and notice how different it is than when you started off with the television on, with the news
Mhm.
in the background, listening to, oh, there was this shooting and this fire
Mhm.
and, the political division and, all of this. A lot of times we're starting our day with such negativity. And even if it's on in the background, it still has this impact. For me in the mornings, it's like my routine. I do like this pop Christian station. I put that on,
Mhm.
and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I did it a couple of times where I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to turn on the news real quick. And the
Yeah.
amount of tension that I felt in just
Mhm.
like 5 minutes, I was like, whoa, like this is a lot to
Yeah.
take in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think music influences us. And I'm not going to pretend to know that I know all about the sound frequencies and those types of things. But I believe scientifically, when I did read a little bit about it, it does show that because, of course, everything is energy around
Mhm.
us, that the different frequencies do impact you. So,
Exactly.
that's something
Yeah.
for a future study. Go ahead, Tanisha.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would encourage people to, if you have a headache, for example, just test it out. Put on binaural beats and just see how you feel. Or if you are feeling anxious, put it on. That's how I started with my journey. I'm like, okay, like you said, energy, we're all energetic beings. So I was like, let me see how this works. And it definitely has helped me. That's what I use, actually, essential oils and binaural beats when I do have a headache.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, we're gonna see. It doesn't happen instantly. This is not gonna be like Tylenol and Advil, but give it a couple minutes. Sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 10, and you just lay there and your body absorbs it.
right.
And it's really beautiful. Or if you are having trouble going to sleep, lately now I'm introducing sound bowl healing now into like my practice. It's something new for me as well, but I test these things out on myself just to try a different modality. And I was like, wow, I knocked out in like 10 minutes just listening to this, because it was soothing. Like, the one I picked was intentional. Like, I want something to help me sleep because I was having a hard time falling asleep. So it just goes to show that the medicine is all around us, and this medicine is free. So, with this offer, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a little introduction. I have some binaural beats, but mine are a lot more like Londrell, who is a rapper, and he'll be talking about different affirmations in his music just to get something a little bit more upbeat for people. But he chooses different frequencies, different hertz is what they'll call it, for his music, that when you listen into it, you're going to feel good about yourself. And like you said, instead of putting on the news, I don't watch the news personally because I don't want my brain being flooded with all that stuff. So usually for me, it's affirmations when I wake up, on a podcast or something more positive, and then music. Like, that's usually my routine.
Yeah. So we do have some more comments coming in. Izzy says, absolutely. Ricky sends those energies right back where they came
Hmm.
from in love. And she also says, you have amazing energy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And Izzy also says, yes, she does not watch the news anymore.
Yeah.
And then she says, free tell. tell Tanisha I use Mind Castle Music. There is an awesome
Ooh,
documentary that explains the energy levels of music. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, that's cool. I have to check
Yeah.
that out. And I'm
And
thinking like too, like on the opposite end, when you have like hype music on, like yesterday, I was getting tired. David and I were coming back on the little local train thing, and we were coming back late and stuff. And I had my earphones in, and you know what? I put on Missy Elliott. All of a sudden, I
yeah,
was like hype. It's funny
yeah,
because it does impact. I was like, all right.
that's it.
Um,
It's intentional. I mean,
yeah,
yesterday was my what did I have on yesterday? I was cooking. Oh, I had on soca
yeah.
and
Oh, I love
hip hop.
soca.
I was going back and forth between the two. And
Yeah.
Jay-Z's like one of my favorite artists, so I get hype no matter what. But soca music in itself, I call it happy music. Like you can't be sad
Yeah.
listening to soca. So I'm like, all right. It just and then the weather's nice too, so it just brings you up. Like sun medicine is something else too, like just sitting outside in the
Right.
sun while listening to music, like you can't tell me that you're gonna be in a bad mood. I won't
I
believe it.
know, right? Okay, so we covered the chakra part, we covered the music part, we got into the smoothies because you talked about that. Tell us a little bit more about the affirmations because we started that a little
Yeah. Yeah. So I chose them based off of the chakras. So for
bit.
one, like let's just say the root chakra, for me, I said like I was having things with being fearful and just protection and stability. So a quick affirmation from there is like I am protected. Like I'm secure within myself or I feel stable. So I wanted to do them where it aligned instead of I could have just said like I love myself, but that doesn't go for the root chakra, that goes more towards the heart chakra. So being intentional with the words that I chose, and it's just a couple of affirmations for each that you can say it while you're drinking a smoothie, while you're making a smoothie, maybe while you're listening to the music or doing the journal prompts. Just a little something to keep bringing in that positivity. Like I drill it into your head, like, and your brain will adapt to it. Be like, oh, okay, like I love myself or like I feel protected, like I'm safe in my body. And when you just keep saying those things, it's automatically getting downloaded, whether you feel it or not, because it's repetition. And that's what the brain needs to be able to make these changes. If you just do this one time, no, you're not going to see results. But
Right.
that's not mindfulness. Mindfulness is something that you continuously do day in, day out. And even if you do have a slip and you forget one day, but you get right back up and you get back to your practice. So that was my intention with the affirmations is to just give you something else that you're now saying because everything else you're doing, right? Like you're listening to music, you're making the smoothies, you're doing the journal prompts. But with this is you talking to yourself.
Yeah.
And positive self-talk is very important.
I like what you said about it's just not one thing. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, you just don't do it one time and then boom, all of a sudden. And I think when it comes to working on yourself, and especially when you're incorporating natural wellness, what I like for people to understand and to think about is that you're not talking about a quick fix. You're not talking because, and the reason why you shouldn't think of it as a quick fix is because this should eventually become a lifestyle, a way that you move, a way that you think, a way that you eat, a way that you interact with people. So I love that your guide is so comprehensive because I can see now that you're working on like the whole being, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And how do you make that shift instead of just like, oh, let me just put this on because there's nothing wrong. If you feel bad and you put something on real quick, and
Yeah.
that's fine. But I mean, in terms of like the expectation going
Mhm.
in is, I feel is real deep with the offer that you have.
Yeah, thank you. It's like having the homie right there with you. Me just
Yes,
supporting you, but I'm not physically in your space. But
right.
the love that has been put into this offer, like you'll feel it, and your vibrations are gonna raise for sure. I've gotten a lot of good feedback with this one, even the visuals of everything. I keep saying intentional, but it's true, and I feel that a lot of us aren't intentional with our lives. We just kind of like let life pass us by, and you keep doing that with your wellness. That's when you're gonna have all these different issues. So
Right.
take the time.
Yeah.
That's really it.
So you have just to recap for people. You have the smoothies that activate your chakras. You have journal prompts. You have the affirmations. You have the music, And then you have the counseling or the one-on-one session with you. So
Yep.
tell us how that works.
Yeah, so at the end, because you gotta make it to the end of the
Okay.
experience, there's a link to click and book a call with me. So it's totally optional to the person, but I wanted to put that there because a lot of these ebooks or workbooks, that's just that. It's a digital download, and some people forget about it and some people use it. But I feel like if I incorporate literally me into this program, like you get to talk with me, it'll give you a little bit more of an incentive to be like, okay, well, like I went through this guide and this is how I felt. And I want to talk to you about it. I want to see what worked, what didn't work for you, and see what type of other support that we can take your next level of wellness to after this. So that's why I decided to just do that. Cause I kept thinking, I'm like, I don't think anyone's really doing something like this. And the point was to be different. I could have just left it like that because I have other offerings where it's just strictly one-on-one coaching. But I thought that giving a coaching call at the end would really be a nice way to wrap it up and bring you into my world even more and for you to experience me on a more intimate level.
That's awesome. And you said they have to complete it. How long does it take for someone, or do you think it average, will take someone to complete this? And then how do they track it and know when they're completed?
Yeah, so roughly it should take 7 days because there's seven chakras, so there's seven smoothies for
Okay.
each. And
Okay.
then the herbal teas, it's seven. So it's really just testing them out, trying them, seeing what works for you. And the journal prompts, it's seven as well. The longest is the playlist because that's 2 hours, but you don't have to wait until
Yeah,
you finish
yeah.
all that. Just pick which ones call to you, and that's fine. So really, you're just tracking like, okay, like I did this one for my root, and then you take it up and afterwards and be like, okay, like I think I'm ready to talk about it, or something came up for me while I'm doing my self-discovery journal prompts. And then you can hit me up and we can see what you were able to work through, what blocks you may still have. How's your body feeling? Do you feel more in tune with yourself now? Or is there some more support that you may need?
That is so cool. I love that personalization. Izzy says the frequency has to be on a certain level to create calm, healing acts. So she's talking about
Yeah.
that. And then she says, love it when you were just talking about the personal touch
Yeah.
that you're adding. Yeah, that is so giving. I was going to say giving of you too, because like you said, yeah, you could just download something and be done. But the fact that they get that one-on-one interaction, because I can imagine after going through something like that, it's like you want to like keep going. Like, how do I keep going, or
Yeah.
how do I, like you said, I still have these blocks. So after they have that call with you, and you guys talk about whatever, what's the next step that you would like to see people take in order to continue their journey?
Yeah, so I give them two different levels with me, two options. So after that, you can do the 7 day Neosoul cleanse program where you're getting accountability coaching with me and we're focusing on cleansing out your body now. So now that's more intense with herbs and different smoothies that you're having and abstaining from food. So it's a little bit different. And then from there, if someone's really ready to make the jump, then I have my 90-day program, Neo Soul Plant Based Transition, where I'm working with people who maybe they're not ready to become fully vegan, but they've been wanting to try this. And all the other fad diets that they've done, it hasn't worked out. Now they're ready to make a lifestyle change. I have that bigger program where you have me in your back pocket, I say, because you get tech support access, you get video calls with me, you get the grocery list, you get more journal prompts as well. Meditation is included with that. And even you were talking about your natural oils and natural products. I discuss that in this program as well, because like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's not just about changing what you're eating. I'm truly embodying you to help you activate that wellness spiritual body. So I want you to know how plants can help you with anxiety, how you can take CBD oil instead of different medications to help calm your body down, or when you do have the headaches. So it is, I feel like I thought of everything when it comes to the 90-day program. And that's what I wanted to give to the person who was once me, where I had to search for all these different things. So that program, it takes you step by step. You have desserts, you have your meal plans as well with that too. So that's for someone who's like, man, I know I need to reclaim my health. I'm tired of being on the medications. I'm tired of being tired all the time.
Right.
And now I'm ready but I know that I need to be held accountable. So they're now coming to me for that. So yeah, I like to give them either option to see where people are at, and they get to choose because it's all about you. You come first. I'm just here to guide you.
Yeah, and that guidance is really important because yeah, it can be really intimidating. I think a lot of people probably do want to try plant-based, natural, a more natural way of living, but you think about like, oh, what herbs do I need and where do I get it from or what oils or what, there's just so many questions that people have that can stop them from moving forward, right? So that's so awesome that you offer that opportunity to be in their back pocket. So I love that.
Yes.
So where, as we wrap up, where can people find you? Where can people get this Neo Soul Chakra Activation Guide and look at all your other offerings?
Yeah, so I mean, for following me, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. They are all plant-based vibes, PLANTBASEVIBES. Facebook is Tanisha Naughton, and then to get all my offerings, you can go to my website www.mswellnessllc.com. I always say too, like I'm just a DM away, so if you have a question, reach out to me. I do give free conversations as well, just like a coffee chat with me. So there's that too, but you can go to the website to book that.
Awesome, awesome. So before we wrap up, do you have any last words of advice or wisdom or just sharing on you want to share it's on your heart? And it can just be about anything.
Yeah, yeah. I really feel I've been saying this a lot that 2023 is the year that you choose yourself. Like 2023 is the year that you get all your hopes and dreams, but you have to let fear not let it stop you. It's time to transform. So I would say if you've really been thinking about putting your health first, really reclaiming your health, do it. Don't let all the excuses get in the way. It's time for action.
It is time for action. I love it. That's why I love having you on the show. I'm so glad that we're connected because that
Yeah.
last line, she's like, do it. Like now it's time, 2023, get off the fence. So you guys go check her out. I'll add her social media links as soon as we get off this off the channel. I already put in her website so you can go there, check her out. Feel free to contact her directly with any questions you may have. Tanisha, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on.
Thank you
And
for having me.
yeah, absolutely. Anytime. And I'm super excited about what you're giving out to the people. Charles Brakely summed it up nicely. Awesome, awesome show. And the show is only as good as its guests. So awesome, Tanisha. Thank you.
Thanks.
So we're going to sign off. You guys make sure you check her out. Remember the year of activation, like she said, put yourself first because taking care of yourself, then you can take care of everyone else that you love, right? All right. So love you guys. I'm going to see you next Sunday. Until then, you guys have a great week. Bye.